In 2022, both of these popular compact SUVs got major updates. The Brezza got an all-new generation and the Venue got an also important facelift. So how do these cars compare today? Let's find out. So what I'll do is I'll compare the exteriors, interiors and the performance of both of these compact SUVs, and then I'll tell you which one to buy. Before we get started, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the MotorBeam channel. So we have the Brezza ZXi Plus with us and the Venue SXO. This one is of course the petrol model. This is automatic. This one is IMT, the turbo petrol variant of the Venue, and the Brezza can be yours for 9.5 to approximately 16.4 lakh on road Mumbai. Yes, cars have become really expensive and this is much more expensive than the Vitara Brezza that it replaces, and this one, the Venue, can be yours for 8.84 to 15.08 lakh. So yeah, this is actually around 1.5 lakh cheaper than the Brezza, and this one has 3 engine options including a diesel. So let's get started with the engine bay of both the cars. As you can see, this one gets insulation over here. The Venue does not get insulation underneath the bonnet, and this area is also not fully painted. So this is the 1-liter turbocharged engine of the Venue 3-cylinder unit, making around 120 PS of power and 172 Newton meters of torque. It is offered with a DCT or an IMT, and this one, the Brezza, gets only a single engine option, K15C 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, making around 102 horses and 136.8 Newton meters of torque, offered with a 5-speed manual or a new 6-speed torque converter. And yeah, that's about it. We'll drive the cars in a bit. Let's shut the bonnets of both the cars so I can show you the designs, and I think both the cars look quite good, with the new updates. Of course, the engine bay of this one looks much neater than the one on the Brezza. So this one is the dual tone variant of the Brezza that I have with me, and this one is single tone, but the Venue can also be had with a dual tone finish. So here's a look at the fascia of both the cars. I think both of them look quite striking. So let's come closer, and you can see this massive Hyundai logo over here. The grille looks much better than that of the older Venue. Actually, the whole car looks much better, and I think people have had mixed opinions. I think in this color it looks really good, and the chrome doesn't shine a lot, so I think it looks subtle, not too loud. And you get halogen indicators over here. On the Brezza, you get LED indicators. A very thin strip runs over here, and you get LED projectors on the Venue, and this DRL is present. There is no fog lamp offered on the Hyundai Venue. It used to be offered earlier. Over here you get LED fog lamps and LED projectors and these BMW style DRLs. From the front, I think the Brezza looks quite nice, and this car is actually a much better looker than the older Vitara Brezza. That one used to look very basic. This one looks nice and modern, and from certain elements it reminds you of cars from BMW and of course from Range Rover also, especially from the back. I'll come to that in a bit. Now the good thing over here is that both the cars have the exact same length of 3995 millimeters. Both of them are sub 4 meter compact SUVs. The Brezza is taller than the Hyundai Venue by 68 millimeters, and the Brezza is also wider than the Hyundai Venue by 90 millimeters, but both of them have the exact same wheelbase of 2500 millimeters. Ground clearance is also more than enough on both of these SUVs, and both of them also have the exact same tire size of 215/60/16. Coming to the side, the Brezza visibly looks much longer than it actually is. So this portion over here is actually longer than that of the older Vitara Brezza, which is why this car looks longer, and you have this thick body cladding on the Brezza compared to the Hyundai Venue, which gets a very thin body cladding on the panels of the car. Apart from that, I think the Brezza looks quite nice. Dual tone color theme is offered. Both the cars get a normal sunroof and a shark fin antenna, and let me just show you the side of the Venue also. So from the side, the Venue looks quite simple. Of course, the design on both the cars isn't very over the top, and both of them look quite pleasing to the eye. And if I show you the cars from the back, the Brezza definitely has some resemblance to the Range Rover Velar, which may or may not be a good thing. I think a lot of people like the design of the new one, and I think it looks good. The tail lamps have a very nice detailing with halogen indicators and a normal halogen reverse bulb, and you get smart hybrid badging. Nice big Brezza badging, no Vitara on this one. Suzuki logo, simple rear wiper over here, and the fuel tank capacity is 48 liters on the Brezza, and on the Hyundai Venue the fuel tank capacity is 45 liters. not much of a difference. So let me show you the rear end of the Hyundai Venue. Now this one also gets completely new tail lamps, and you know the detailing is nice on this one also, and these elements are actually, you know, similar to that of the Brezza. So this looks good. You get halogen indicators over here. The reflectors are positioned in this three-way layer on the rear bumper. So this is the reverse light, and you can have a look at the indicator. This strip runs across the width of the car, looks quite nice, and stands out when it is dark. You get SX badging over here. No variant badging is offered on the Maruti Brezza. And let me just open the boot. The Venue has a boot capacity of 350 liters, which is quite nice. 60-40 split option is available, and let me show you the spare wheel of the car. This one gets a full-size spare wheel. Of course, this is not an alloy wheel. Steel rim is present, and that is okay. You get a single lamp over here. No charging ports are provided in the boot of the Venue. And if we come to the boot of the Brezza, this one has a capacity of 328 liters. Some good things in life can be really expensive, and yeah, this is the 328 liter boot of the Brezza. Quite big, quite wide, and you know it is shaped really nice. So you get some storage areas over here also. There's a single light. You get some hooks over here, a single hook actually, and this one also gets a full-sized spare wheel on a steel rim, 215/60/16. So that's about it. I think I've spoken enough. This one also has a 60-40 split feature for the rear seat. So I think I've spoken enough about the exteriors of both of these compact SUVs. Which one do you like more in terms of design? Let me know in the comment section below. Meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll get inside both of the cars, and then we'll talk about, you know, the features, the quality, the space levels, and then we'll drive both the cars back to back. So let's get started with the interior of the Brezza first. Time to check out the interior of the 2022 Maruti Brezza ZD I Plus, and this is the door pad of the car. You get a very basic quality materials over here. Lots of plasticky stuff is present, and these switches, they are from 2005. You get the same door handles that you have seen on multiple other Maruti cars. Decent storage space to offer. A 1 liter bottle can be put here. This thing is open, so you cannot store anything, and the fabric upholstery does feel okay. It does not have any sort of premium feel. So if you are paying 16.5 lakhs for a car, you definitely expect better quality upholstery, and that is what you get on the Hyundai Venue. So let me open this. Just see the quality of the materials. Again, there's a lot of plasticky stuff over here also, but the fit and finish is much better. The quality feels nice, and this one also has a good touch to it. You can have a look at the upholstery. There's no leather on this. There's no pure leather, of course. You get some leatherette upholstery on the sides of the seats. This area is pure fabric. This is again leatherette. So we'll come to the cabin of the Venue in a bit. Let's focus on the Brezza right now. So I'm sitting in the car, and let's start it. So I am seated in the cabin of the Maruti Brezza, sorry, no Vitara, and I keep forgetting that sometimes. It's okay. So this one has a dual tone finish on the dashboard. The dashboard actually looks much better than the one on the Vitara Brezza, because you know the... Yeah, thank you. So because you know this one, the multiple layers of design, this quality of the panel over here, all this is much better definitely, but still it feels very plasticky and, you know, basic up to a certain extent. This is the same steering wheel that we have seen on many Maruti cars, including, you know, the XL6, and this is the same instrument cluster. Again, I think this one looks very nice. The instrument cluster, now it showcases a lot of information, and it is actually very easy to read and navigate through. So you can use these buttons to navigate through the different things that the MID has to offer. So this is for the trip meter, and this one is for toggling the display. So it showcases a lot of information, power, torque, acceleration, braking. This is the mild hybrid variant. So yeah, it has this thing, the mild hybrid display. And let's keep this aside right now. You can have a look at the fuel economy. It is showing 13 kilometers per liter, which is nice. And yeah, we need to fill up some fuel. So anyway, coming to the cabin of the Brezza, I think it looks good. The plasticky feel is something that, you know, will probably make you think about spending so much money on this car. But otherwise, the car is actually quite nice. The quality has improved compared to the Vitara Brezza, and overall it feels like a good place to be in. The ergonomics are extremely good on the Brezza. You know, all these controls, all these buttons, everything falls within easy reach of your hand, and even when you sit in the car for the first time, you will feel like home. So yeah, getting used to this car is actually very easy, and there is nothing that actually feels, you know, out of place. So this is the panel For the lights and the sunroof controls, you can individually toggle these lights. This is the sunglass holder, and this is for the sunroof. You get a single pane sunroof, which is not very big. It is like quite compact in size, but that's okay. The quality of this is decent, better than what we have seen on the Grand Vitara and the Hyrider. And of course, you can use this button to open the sunroof. Over here, you get a mirror with a cover, and this light has to be individually toggled, so it does not come on automatically. And over here also, I think the case is similar. Okay, sorry, I am so sorry, there is no light over here. There is no mirror also over here. So yeah, there is some cost cutting which has been done. Thankfully, this car has an auto dimming IRVM, and you can also use this auto button over here. I think you can see it now. Yes, to toggle the functionality of this mirror. You get a 9-inch screen over here, 4 speakers, 2 tweeters. Sound quality is okay, not the best. The screen is nice to use. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, all of these features are available. Screen is nice, sound quality is decent. It could be better. And apart from that, yeah, this screen we have seen on many other cars. So Grand Vitara, Urban Cruiser, Hyrider, Baleno, all of these cars, Glanza, of course, all of these cars get the same screen. These are the AC controls, and the AC is actually a nice chiller. So even at 22.5, I'm actually feeling quite good, quite pleasant in the cabin of the Brezza. And these are the standard call control features, buttons, sorry, and this is for the voice commands. Now I must mention that the voice commands on this car are very sensitive, so even if you say something even remotely related to Suzuki, the lady over here will wake up from her slumber and make you say some voice command. So yeah, that's about it. This is for the wiper control knob, and yeah, it looks quite descriptive. This is the headlight control knob, similar thing that we have seen on many Maruti cars. And this is the HUD. Let me just open it. So I don't like the HUD much. I mean, it is a good feature to have. Some people really like it. I personally find it a bit distracting, so I'm not a big fan. So I always keep it shut irrespective of what car I'm driving. And it is blinking right now on the camera, but in reality it is not blinking, and you can toggle through the angles and the display using these buttons. So let's shut the HUD for now, and let me show you something. So on the Brezza, on this panel you get so many dummy buttons. So this is for nothing, this is for nothing, this is for nothing, these 2 buttons also for nothing, and this is for the auto start stop feature. This is the headlamp leveler, this is the 360 view camera, this is for opening or closing the HUD, and this is for switching off the traction control. I don't know why you would want to do that on a 103 horsepower car, but it's okay. So let's switch on the camera and see how's the quality. So this is the camera of the Brezza, and it shows you the surroundings nicely. Let me just show you the exterior. Okay, so this shows you the car from outside, and I know the sun is troubling you a bit, but here's a better look at this. So it shows you the Venue also, which is parked next to the Brezza. So the clarity is actually decent. Again, not the best, but it is quite good, and even in the dark it works well. So I guess that's about it. Storage spaces are more than enough on this car. This is the gear control. You get a wireless charging pad over here, you get a standard USB port, and 12-volt charging socket is present. There is no aux input on this car, but it used to be offered earlier on the Vitara and Vitara Brezza. And this is the key of the car, the same key that we have always seen. You get this blue highlight over here, and the lock and unlock buttons. Nothing fancy, it is quite basic. So I'll keep this here, and there are enough storage spaces. So you get a small space over here, you get 2 cup holders or small bottle holders. This armrest can be slid back and forth. You can also open it up and see some space over here, and the glove box is also decent in size. So again, it is not very big, but you can keep a fair amount of stuff over here. You get height adjustable seat belts for the front passengers, and this is the seat of the car. Lots of fabric upholstery. This the shape of the seat is actually very good. So in this very same car, I did a 600-kilometer road trip with my family in a single day, and I was the sole driver, and I did not get tired. So the seats are really good. The ride quality is actually quite nice. Only thing is that the engine is again, we'll come to the engine in a bit. So anyway, the seats offer good comfort and support, and overall they are shaped nicely. The headrest that you can see is very tall. This area is also quite big and wide, and this one also offers good comfort and support to the person who is sitting over here. So overall, that is not an issue in the Brezza. Maruti does know how to offer good stuff in the cabin. Lots of features they are offering now, which is a very good thing. And in terms of safety, this one gets 6 airbags. You get ABS with EBD, ISOFIX style seat mounts, traction control, or 360 view camera. All of these things are offered again, which is a very nice touch. So in terms of features, Maruti has definitely upped the game. But yeah, the quality levels in the cabin could have been slightly better. So what I'll do is, we'll switch off this car and move on to the Hyundai Venue. I am now in the driver's seat of the Hyundai Venue facelift. Let's switch on the car. The AC is a bit noisy, so I'll switch it off right now. And this is the cabin of the Hyundai Venue. You get this D-cut steering wheel, which is similar to that of the Hyundai Creta, and I think even the Alcazar gets a similar steering wheel. You get these standard buttons over here. The buttons are a bit different on the Alcazar. Let me switch off this air purifier because it is making noise. The air purifier has been switched off. So yeah, you get this useful feature because of which the armrest actually does not slide. So anyway, let's come back to that in a bit, and you can have a look at the digital instrument cluster of the Hyundai Venue, which is exactly the same as the one which is offered on the Kia Carens. Some colors might be here or there different, but otherwise it is, the same unit, and it actually is again very easy to read. So this is the tachometer, and this is the speedometer. Of course, you get this MID over here, again showcasing a lot of information. You can toggle through the screens using this button on the steering wheel, and that's about it. Drive info is 000. Anyways, this is the center console of the car. The dual tone finish actually looks nice, and overall even though this car has a lot of hard plastics, just like the Brezza, the quality somehow feels more consistent on the Venue, and it feels slightly better. Of course, there are no soft touch materials on either of these cars, but somehow I just like the vibe in the cabin of the Venue. It is very good, and Hyundai does know a thing or two about how to provide good quality interiors. In terms of features, I think both the cars are evenly matched. So yeah, you get a sunroof on the Venue also. Again, this is also not too big in size, but it is, I think, 1 inch bigger than that. Not even 1 inch, I think ½ inch bigger than that of the Brezza. The quality of this is also nice, and you get 2 individual lights. If you open this, again, there is no mirror over here, no light over here, just like the Brezza. Over here also there is no light. Oh my god, there's just a mirror, no cover. Also on the Brezza you get a cover and a light over here, and you get some storage areas on the dashboard. This is the AC control. Again, the AC on the Hyundai Venue is also quite a chiller. It really cools the cabin in no time. And over here you get the usual buttons. The engine start stop button is present. This is the traction control off. This is the headlight leveler, and this is a dummy button. Only one dummy button on the Venue compared to half a dozen dummy buttons on the Brezza. And this is for opening the bonnet. On the Brezza, the fuel lid opener is also placed somewhere over here. On the Venue, it is placed over here, and I guess that's about it in terms of storage areas. The Venue also gets similar storage areas, so there is a slot over here to keep your small stuff. The glow box is similarly sized as the Brezza. This one has a cooled glow box, and even the door pads have enough space. You get a wireless mobile charging pad, you get a standard USB port, you get a 12-volt charging socket, you get a Type-C USB port, and yeah, lots of different types of ports are available on the Venue. On this, you don't get an auto dimming RVM. You have a manual one, but you have this SOS button over here. This is for roadside assistance, and this is for the BlueLink connectivity feature. Both the cars have connected car features. This has BlueLink, that one has Suzuki Connect, and both the cars have voice commands also. So that is a nice thing. Here's a look at the front seat of the Venue. This is also quite big in size. In terms of comfort and support, I like the shape of the seat of the Brezza a bit more, but this one is not bad at all. The base is quite big, as you can see. The contouring is very nice, and overall the comfort levels offered by the seat of the Venue are also very good. So yeah, on this one you get a fixed seat belt. There is no height adjustable seat belt on this car. And in terms of safety features, I think the Venue is also evenly matched. This one also has 6 airbags on offer, ABS with EBD, traction control, ISOFIX mounts, all of these things. None of these cars have a safety rating as of yet, but yeah, that's about it. So you get 2 bottle holders over here. This armrest does not slide back and forth. You get an inbuilt air purifier over here, and this thing opens up to free up some space. So this is the screen of the Hyundai Venue. This one gets an 8-inch screen, and the screen on the Brezza is 9 inches, so this one is also much better than that of the pre-facelift Venue. This also offers a lot of connectivity options. The responsiveness is quite good. Just that the sound quality could be better on both the cars actually. On this one also you get 4 speakers and 2 tweeters. Just like the Brezza, sound quality is actually more or less the same on both the cars. I'll probably give it 7 out of 10 to both of them in terms of sound quality. So there is room for improvement over there, but I think most people won't really have a reason to complain or to upgrade. Some people who are pure audiophiles, they might upgrade the speakers on their cars. So yeah, this is the gear selector on the Venue. This is the IMT variant, which is why I have only 2 pedals. There's no clutch, there's a dead pedal, and this thing of course. So this is the key of the Venue. Again, this same key we have been getting since more than 10 years now, and every Hyundai car, almost every Hyundai car has the same key. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, the quality is better than the key of the Brezza over there, and the color feels good. The touch feel is also very nice. The fit and finish of the material over here, and there's a small storage area to keep the key also. So I've shown you the cabin of the Venue. Now what we'll do is compare the rear seats of both the cars. The driver seats of both the cars have been adjusted to my seating position. I'll jump into the rear seat of the Venue first, and you can have a look at the door pad first. Small storage area over here, single power window switch, basic door handle, no tweeter. You get a single speaker over here and a 1 liter bottle holder. That's about it. And this is the rear seat of the Hyundai Venue. This one can be reclined. Okay, I forgot to show you one feature. Now the Hyundai Venue does not have front ventilated seats, neither does the Brezza have it, but this one has power adjustment for the seat. So the height can be adjusted using this manual thing over here. You can just slide the seat or recline the backrest using these buttons. Personally, I think Hyundai should have offered ventilated seats instead of this feature, but they did some market research and they claimed that customers wanted this feature more, so that's the reason why they have offered this feature. The rear seat of the Venue can be reclined up to 2 levels, and let's get inside this, and it does not seem like a very pleasant experience. I am seated in the rear seat of the Hyundai Venue, and you can see the legroom on offer. Knee room is very tight, and my shin area is actually touching the base of the front seat. So yeah, it is a bit tight here, but what I like is the backrest angle. It is very good, and right now it is reclined and I'm actually liking it. I feel comfortable over here. The headrest on this car, you can see, is quite small. The one on the Brezza was actually much bigger, and there is no storage area over here. Here you get some space, and that's about it. Knee room definitely has room for improvement, even though both the cars have the same wheelbase of 2500 millimeters. The Brezza has some more space. So this is a single cabin light which you get in the rear seat of the Hyundai Venue, and that's about it. 2 AC vents, 2 Type-C USB ports. That is a good thing. And this is of course the air purifier of the Venue. So overall it is a good experience sitting in the rear seat of this car. Only thing is that the knee room could have been slightly better. Getting in and out is actually very easy. You get 2 cup holders in this armrest over here, and you get 2 headrests over here. No headrest for the middle passenger. These are of course adjustable, and the middle passenger gets a 2-point seat belt, not a 3-point seat belt. So that's about it. This is a look at the dashboard of the Venue. Looks quite good and I really like it. Now let's move on to the rear seat of the Maruti Brezza. So Brezza, we are back, and this is the rear door of the Brezza. Just have a look at the plasticky materials again. See, this is what I was talking about. It feels better on the Venue. Same door handles from multiple Maruti cars. Basic power window switch, no place to keep anything over here. You can hold this thing, and the bottle holder is bigger, slightly bigger than that of the Hyundai Venue. This seat has also been adjusted to my driving position, and yeah, visibly the space looks slightly better, just a touch better than the Hyundai Venue. My knee is not touching the front seat, and my shin area is also not touching the back portion of the driver's seat. So space levels are slightly better on the Brezza. Again, not a world of a difference, but the extra width of this car does make its presence felt. You get 2 AC vents over here, you get 2 normal USB ports, and that's about it. No light is present over here, but you get a light which is present over here at the rear part of the car. Headroom is actually very good on both the cars. Here's a look at the dashboard of the Brezza. Headroom is nice, and the width is better definitely on the Brezza. So fitting 3 people here will be more comfortable compared to the Hyundai Venue, and This one also has two adjustable headrests, no headrest for the middle passenger. This armrest opens up and you get two cup holders over here. So that's about it. Getting in and out of both the cars is very easy. You get storage areas here also. Here also you get this you get this luggage carrying hook over here, and that's about it. So yeah, overall in terms of features, both the cars are evenly matched. In terms of space, Brezza has slightly more space. In terms of quality, the Venue has better quality than the Brezza. So that sums up the cabins of both the cars. Now let's get driving, and I'll start off with the Brezza. So I'm at the wheel of the Maruti Brezza, and as I mentioned before, this one gets the same 1.5 litre K15C engine. Of course, the same engine as we have seen on the Ertiga and the XL6, and the earlier Brezza used to get the K15B engine, and before that it used to get a diesel. But yeah, now there's no diesel engine. So this one makes 103 horses and around 136.8 Newton meters of torque. I have the automatic variant with me. This is a 6-speed torque converter, and overall the engine is quite refined. It is very silent. It does not have a lot of vibrations, and drivability levels are decent if you are looking at something which is very easy going. So if you prefer driving the car sedately, slowly, and you are not in a hurry, this engine won't disappoint you. But if you want to do some aggressive driving, you want to overtake someone quickly on the highway, or you just want to have some fun with the car, then this engine is you should probably look somewhere else, because this engine really does not have a lot of punch on offer. It is quite lethargic, and it is tuned more for fuel economy and less for performance. So that is the thing with the K15C engine. So when you want to make some fast overtakes on the highway, you stamp on the accelerator pedal, and this engine is slow to respond. So it feels like a lazy boy who doesn't want to go to school on a Monday morning, and his mom is scolding him and pushing him to the school bus. It feels like that. So anyway, in terms of normal drivability inside the city, I think this engine works really well, and this has the mild hybrid system, also SHES basically. And in terms of fuel economy also, this engine is very nice. So realistically, you can expect 13 to 14 kilometers per liter in the city and around 18-19 on the highway, and this number could go up or go down depending on how you drive. But overall, the engine is decent. As I mentioned before, it just does not have a lot of punch. The gearbox is better than the 4-speed unit that used to be offered earlier, but again, this is also tuned not to be very aggressive. It is a bit lazy, a bit slow to respond. The steering of the Brezza is also very light. It does not have a lot of feel and feedback, and sometimes it also does not self-center properly. And it feels again very easy to drive this car because the steering is so light. Easy to park it also because of the brilliant visibility on the outside. But again, the steering feels a bit, it could have been a bit more communicative at high speeds. It could have been more confidence inspiring, but again, there's no major issue with it as such. And yeah, it is tuned, this whole car is tuned more towards comfort and efficiency, and that way it does its job really well. The whole car, if you are looking for a comfortable, no nonsense sub 4 meter compact series, the Brezza is actually quite good as a whole package. Just that these small things, they somehow could have been better. Again, in terms of ride quality, the ride has improved compared to the older Vitara Brezza that used to be quite stiff. This one feels more pliant over bad roads, and it glides over potholes really well. So overall, the driving manners are improved, the high-speed stability is good, and the braking performance is also quite nice. So in all these things, the Brezza does fare quite well. So now what I'll do is I'll jump into the driver's seat of the Hyundai Venue. But before that, this car also has steering mounted paddle shifters. Of course, some people may use it, but otherwise in normal automatic mode the car works well. You get a manual mode also over here, and overall the car is decent to drive around. So in manual mode, if you want to shift up or down, you have to do it with the paddle shifters only. You cannot use the gear lever to do that. There's no Tiptronic function. So yeah, only paddle shifters for using the manual mode. So I'll shift it back to D. There is no S mode on offer, and yeah, done with the Brezza. Let's get inside the Venue now. So now I'm at the wheel of the Hyundai Venue Turbo, and as you can see, this is the IMT variant. So there's no proper manual offered with the turbo variant of the Venue. So if you want a proper manual, you have to look at the Kappa variant or the CRDI variant. Basically, that is the diesel variant, With this, you get a 6-speed IMT or a 7-speed DCT, and honestly, I actually like how the IMT performs. So before this also, I had the pre-facelift Venue Turbo IMT for almost a year or probably half a year, and that was my long-term test car. So I actually like the convenience that it offered. Only thing is that initially you have to just get used to it. So sometimes because of the 2-pedal feel, you forget that you're driving a manual car and you think it is an automatic and you forget to upshift. But once you get the hang of it, there is nothing better than this. So it is actually a very convenient gearbox. You get the control of a manual gearbox with the convenience, with the comfort of an automatic, and overall the Venue feels very nice to drive. So it has more than enough power. 120 horsepower in such a small car is actually nice, and it actually offers a good surge of performance in the mid-range. So overtaking other vehicles is easier on the Venue compared to the Brezza. The low end punch is actually better on the Brezza. There is some turbo lag which is felt on the Venue, but after that the Venue is actually leagues ahead of the Brezza in terms of performance. In terms of fuel economy, that one has a claimed figure of 19.8. This one has a claimed figure of 17.8 for the IMT and 18.1 for the DCT. Realistically, that one will offer much better fuel economy. This one drinks fuel definitely because of the turbocharged nature of this engine. So in the city, this will give you 10-11 kilometers per liter. On the highway, probably 15-16. So that is where the Brezza has an upper hand over the Venue. The Venue also has driving modes which are offered only with the DCT. You get an eco mode, a normal mode, and a sport mode, and these are offered only with the DCT, not with the manual or with the IMT. And in terms of the overall performance, I think the Venue is nice. So of course this is a 3-cylinder engine, so some of the vibrations or noises are felt in the cabin compared to the Brezza, which is more silent and more refined. But otherwise, again, I think Hyundai has done a very good job with the refinement levels of the Venue. NVH levels are more or less the same on both the cars, and they could have been better. Some of the outside noises filter inside the cabin. Some of the cabin conversations can also filter outside the car if you're very loud or if you're playing the music very loud. So all that is okay. And apart from that, the Venue also gets 2 other engine options. You get a 1.5 liter diesel making around 100 horsepower, 240 Newton meters, the lowest state of tune compared to the Karen's, Creta, Seltos and Alcazar, of course. And this one also has a normal 1.2 liter 4-cylinder Kappa engine making around 82 horses and 113 Newton meters. That is offered with the lower variants, and the pricing is very competitive for that. So again, performance is just about okay with that engine. My preferred choice of engine with the Venue would be either the diesel or the turbo petrol, but for people who want a compact SUV on a budget, they can look at the Kappa engine, provided they are okay with the performance of that. Again, that one is decent in the city. Only out on the highways it feels a bit underpowered, and that is offered only with a 5-speed manual. The diesel is offered with a 6-speed automatic, no diesel automatic with the Venue. This is something which you get on the Kia Sonet. Now I think the Hyundai has actually nailed the pricing of the Venue. It actually feels value for money when you look at other vehicles in the segment. The Nexon is a bit pricier and it has an AMT, and the Brezza is also on the expensive side, especially the higher end variants. The Sonet is more or less in the same range, and the Hyundai is actually priced very nicely. 15 lakh for the top end diesel variant is actually very good on road, I'm talking about. And in terms of the overall drivability levels also, the Venue feels easy to drive. The steering is light. Again, it does not offer a lot of feel and feedback, and the ride quality is also nice. The ride is more comfortable on the Brezza, but it is good on the Venue also, slightly better than the pre-facelift Hyundai Venue. So both the cars score high in terms of comfort, and the reliability is also very good with both the cars. I mean, Hyundai and Maruti, they are known for their reliable cars. They are known for their good service. Both of them have a massive network of service centers. Of course, Maruti has an upper hand over here because they have more service centers, but Hyundai is no less. They have set up a very nice network across the length and breadth of the country. So yeah, in terms of driving pleasure or in terms of performance, outright performance, the Venue is ahead of the Brezza. In terms of overall comfort, the Brezza is slightly ahead of the Venue. Braking performance is good on the Venue also, and yeah, I think I've summed up both the cars very nicely for you. Now the choice between both of these two is quite simple. Now, new Brezza is actually much better than the Vitara Brezza. It looks better, it has some extra space, it has a lot more features, and it is quite comfortable, but the engine is very lethargic. In comparison, on the Venue, you get better engine options, you get 3 engine options. The Venue is more value for money. The Venue has slightly better quality on the inside, and even in terms of features, it matches the Brezza quite well. The Brezza has slightly more space compared to the Venue, but overall, as a family package, the Hyundai Venue fits the bill completely, and that would be my pick out of both of these two compact SUVs. Which one would be your pick? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this video.